Isabel, was this sort of inevitable given that we do have the Tokyo Olympics coming up in the summer?
Yes, well, Prime Minister Suga has, in fact, been quite reluctant to extend the measure because of the effect on a lot of small businesses like bars and restaurants. But what happened was the Tokyo governor and the governors of the prefectures around Tokyo requested that this extension be brought in, and I think he's found it quite hard to refuse. The number of daily cases in Tokyo hasn't fallen as fast as was hoped. We're now at an average of just under 300 a day in Tokyo. Compared with 2000 in early January, that sounds pretty good, but it's not as good as was hoped. There's still strain on the medical system in some areas around Tokyo. And the third possible reason, as you mentioned, is that we're now just weeks away from the start of the torch relay that begins the whole series of events leading up to the Tokyo Olympics in July. And with the government so keen to keep the Games on track, having an increase in cases at this point is something to be avoided at all costs.
So what would potentially this mean in terms of daily life in Tokyo and, of course, the economic repercussions?
Right. Well, it's been a very, very soft emergency, even by Japanese standards. So the main policy has been to make bars and restaurants close at 8 p.m., which has effectively meant that a lot of them don't open in the evening at all. The residents have also been encouraged to avoid going out and to work from home if they can. But these suggestions have actually been increasingly ignored. Commuter trains are really crowded again. So consequently, the effect of another 2 weeks of this in the capital region will only have a very minor effect on the economy as a whole. But bearing in mind that vaccination is proceeding so slowly in Japan at the moment, keeping this state of emergency in place in the capital is about the only tool the government has to prevent another surge.